Welcome back to Mr. Orth's Flipped Classroom for Grammar. Today let's talk about a subject and verb agreement, starting with agreement and number. First, some reminders that a subject is who or what the sentence is about. The verb in this case is going to be a linking word that tells what the subject is, or the action word that tells what the subject does. Subject-verb agreement specifically is a subject and verb that are properly aligned. In simple terms, singular subjects have singular verbs and plural subjects have plural verbs. So how do we do this? Well, we always find the verb first, all parts of it. Because you find one, it doesn't mean you're done. We ask who or what followed by the verb. That one-word answer to this question should, in most cases, be your simple subject. If you have a verb phrase, this is especially important for subject-verb agreement. Just the first word, the helping or auxiliary verb, is what matches the subject. The main verb doesn't change, only the helping verb will if you have one. A few other tips. First, usually subjects are nouns. They are plural when they end in the letter S. Verbs typically are singular when they end in S, especially in the present tense. Therefore, it's unusual, but not impossible, to have both a noun and a verb which ends in the letter S. If, however, when you're writing, use a simple past tense, like the ED form, then you can remember that there's no difference in the verb between singular and plural subjects. Again, this is if there's no helping verbs other than will, in the future simple. If you move into other types of verb tenses, such as progressive tense, then we're going to have to go between was and were, and we do have to worry about agreement problems yet again. Oh yeah, and watch out for objects of prepositions. They are never the simple subject. It's especially important if you're trying to do subject-verb agreement. If you confuse a simple subject as something else, and vice versa, then you're going to get stuck. And one more time, here and there are never your simple subjects. First example, silly superstitions sneaks into common conversations. So what's a simple subject? Well, let's start by finding the verb. The verb here is sneaks or sneak. Who or what sneaks? The superstitions. Superstitions is a simple subject. Superstitions is going to be plural. Okay, and we know silly is not the simple subject because it describes the superstitions. Since superstitions is plural, then the verb should be sneak, not sneaks. Again, we rarely have plural subject ending in S and a verb ending in S as well. The end of the stories begin a new chapter. So we have to find our verb. The verb is begin. What's our simple subject? Who or what begin? Well, is it stories begin or the end begins? That's the question. Well, stories comes after a preposition of. So stories is the object of the preposition. So the sentence really is the end, begin a new chapter. That doesn't work. End is singular. We need the S on the end of the verb. So the end begins a new chapter. This might take a little bit of practice. Again, don't worry about what sounds right, especially if you're looking at sentences that have an object of a preposition. Stay with it, and you'll get it. Good hunting.